What's going on, everybody? This is Dan French. This is the French Workbench podcast here on a Saturday, and I wanted to invite everybody in. What's going on, everybody? How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's going on? So we got a full show here today, and we're streaming live here from Las Vegas. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. Also, we have comments in the comment section. If you guys want to make comments on that or any questions on that, we're going to be live here. And I want to go ahead and introduce my friend here. His name is Rick Rains. What's going on, Rick?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, had an interesting deja vu on the way in today. We've been talking about what we all think is going to happen in 2022, and it's interesting because we related it back to COVID in that you never know. And as I was on the freeway headed east, got to the airport, and there's all these cops. All right, and I'm wondering, what the heck's going on?
I saw that.
Me too.
Overpass.
However, going west, they had the entire freeway blocked off, and it was backed up like forever.
Is that because the Prez is rolling in?
And
Air Force One, yeah.
So anyway, looking at the people waiting on the other side of the freeway, and then going a little farther and watching them come down from on-ramps, and you see the kids in the car, and they're all having fun, and people are drinking their coffee, not knowing that they're coming in life to a freaking dead stop for who knows
Dude,
how
I know,
long.
right?
And every time I was just watching the other side of the freeway, and all the happy drivers just doing 75.
Yeah, you're driving back.
And
Thank God. Thank God.
That was me.
In 30 seconds, you're coming to a dead stop for God knows how long.
Yep.
Dude, can you imagine you're just passing through, driving through the state, not having nothing, no aware of what's going on, and all of a sudden you're just coming through an interstate, and you got to go like another 3 states, and you're like, just sitting there.
You're totally trapped. I mean, it's like mice looking at cheese and the thing.
You're right, man. You're like, dude, as soon as you come around the corner, your whole world's about ready.
It's ready to end. It's just ready to end.
And that's
I know something you don't know.
That's exactly what went up. Go ahead.
We're going to have a great guest on today. He's going to talk about mold. His name is Dustin, and we're going to get with him here in a second. And so this year, too, we're also going to incorporate, like we said, we're going to have guests on. I want to talk with Brett about cryptocurrency and really see if that's going to be something that people continue to invest into. I know that we've had somewhat of a bear market here recently. I want to talk a little bit about that, right?
Right now, as we speak, it's...
Yeah, right?
Like literally as we speak right now.
So let's get into this. So let's go ahead and introduce our guy here, Dustin. And so, Dustin, what's going on, buddy? This is No Demo Mold. What's going on today? How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you inviting me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. So, first off, I want to say, a lot of people here don't think that mold is really an issue in Vegas because maybe the dry heat, right? Maybe it's just
Right.
the temperature or the climate is not, it's not there for mold. I know like California, you have more moisture, things like that,
Right.
potentially that would be something that people would say, okay, well, that's where the big problems are at. But yet you're in Utah and you also work out of Las Vegas, right? So kind of tell us your story about how you got into this business and what you see out here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure. And you're right. That's almost always the first thing people say when they ask me about my business and being in Las Vegas in business with mold is people instantly think it's so dry. How can mold even grow there? And there's some truth to that. It is related to the climate and humidity.
Right.
And but a lot of that is you're talking about your outdoor climate. What the kind of climate you have inside your house is a lot of times entirely different.
Correct.
Because obviously, Vegas, you can be 120 degrees outside, but inside your house you can keep it down to a nice 68 or 69 or whatever you can get it cooled down to. So your inside of your house is almost its own separate atmosphere. And this is how I started the learning process about mold. Is it's not just a visual aspect.
in the air, yeah.
But once you start removing the materials, it creates an airborne issue.
Huh.
It can start circulating through the air ducts, the air vents, the HVAC system, and it really never goes away.
And then it can just regrow in other places because once it's in the air.
Spores.
Eventually, it can. So mold is an organism, so it needs a food source. So it has to have moisture in order to grow and replicate. Actually, that's it's true. Mold is outside in the air you breathe every day. So it's one of those things that some people don't understand that.
Comes
too.
with
I have a
life.
mold.
Yeah.
Right.
You
What
do
about
have to disclose mold, but
Mold.
let you know about it because it's a physical attribute
Yep.
that affects the.
what is the
value of
what is the
property.
process if somebody has to go in and just try to rehab that whole, like, if let's say the house is definitely overtaken with mold, what is that process for somebody to walk me through, like what somebody would have to do to get that fixed or get it removed?
Remediated.
Right. Yeah. So back to my condo situation. That's how I quickly learned that was going to be a problem because, like I said, we'd already put it back together. And with traditional methods, some of the restoration companies I talked to, they were saying, well, you're going to have to rip out, a lot of that drywall again that you just put in. It's got fresh paint, and brand new baseboards and flooring and all that. And you're looking at upwards of, $4,000 to $6,000 just to take it all out and have us look for the mold and set up some containment barriers. And these are all traditional, old school protocols on mold mitigation. So they basically try to identify where the mold was or originated from. And in this case, it was a flood. So they're basically saying, yeah, let's rip everything out. Let's set up some negative air pressure and start vacuuming out some of that air. And you're looking at a ton of money. So I started, researching some different companies or avenues and people that specialize in mold. And I happened to come across this franchise, which is what I bought into. I'm actually part of a franchise, a national franchise. And it's a demolition-free mold mitigation system. And it's relatively new. It's been around since 2008, roughly is when they started it. And they use a different process. It's called a dry fog technology. And so, whereas with traditional methods, like I say, they have a lot of procedures that they have to do with negative air, setting up air machines, and then they let that run for 3 to 6, 7 days to get that air circulating, get some fresh air in and the bad air out, and then filter it out. In addition to removing all the materials again in hopes to find the source. But with this dry fog technology, basically what we do is we fill the entire inside of the home with a vapor. And,
It's like a smoke bomb, right?
Yeah, it's essentially very similar to doing a
It's badass.
Do you tent
cockroach
it
bomb or
like a
something like
termite?
that.
You
Don't
tent the
go
house?
inside.
You tent the house, Dustin?
no, we don't have to. We don't have to tent it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's a high pressure system. It's
Yeah.
a truck mounted system that we use that converts the non toxic chemical that we use to kill the mold, and it creates just a giant fog barrier inside the house. It'll fill the
So it's
entire
basically
house.
it's a chemical solution instead of having to go in and
Yeah,
demolish
yeah.
everything.
What's the
Right,
cost
it's a
difference?
proprietary.
Okay, what's that?
It's huge. Yeah.
What's the cost difference
It's a
between
huge
that?
cost difference. So to give you an idea, this condo that I was telling you about that I had to mitigate, other companies were telling me $4,000 to $6,000. This company said they'll do it for $950.
Whoa.
Sold out the door.
Done.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, where do I
Where do I
Here's my
sign?
money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, take my money.
How long does that fog have to stay in there, or how long do the people have to stay out of the property?
It depends on the size of the property because we do the entire house. So anywhere from, a condo can be maybe 2 or 3 hours, up to a 5,000 square foot house could be a full day process. Could be
So
8 hours.
it's actually very short compared to, again,
Super
full-
short.
Yeah.
Super
demo.
short.
Like I say, the restoration companies with the air machines, they're talking a week. It's, as far as killing the mold, we have no problem killing it. In fact, part of this company that quoted me the $950, they also offered me a 1-year warranty that said,
Oh, wow.
1 year
That's
we
big.
guarantee
That's
there's
great.
no mold. If you ever
Yeah.
have an issue, come
Yeah.
back. We'll
Wow.
do it again for free. And then they also provide lab tests to confirm that when we're done. So these are all things that we provide. Not only do we do it for less than half the cost and 10 times as fast, but we also provide a warranty for a full year and lab testing. The beautiful thing about our system is it's demolition free and we can kill the mold and clear the house, but there is always the visual aspect. The fact that we can kill it and mitigate it doesn't mean that it disappears. In other words, if you have visible growth on your wall or you have cracking or peeling of the paint and all that, that's not going to change. So that's still going to have to come out. So it always starts with the removal of any materials that are physically damaged.
Dustin, I've got another question for you. Couple questions. How many different types of mold are there? And how many of all of those different, I'm going to call them species or variants, do you really have to worry about?
Yeah, good question. There's about don't know, hundreds, if not thousands of species, almost to the point where we really only focus on a certain few species because they're known to exist in a given area or climate. So, take for example the kind of mold you find growing on your bread that you leave out for too long, or your fruit that you left sitting out on the counter for months at a time. That's the green stuff, the green fuzzy stuff that you see. That's a penicillium species, and I'm not, I won't say penicillium is good, but they created penicillin based off of this type of mold spore. So that's that type of stuff naturally occurs outside. So you'll typically find penicillium, and there's maybe 7 or 8 other types of molds that thrive in the outdoor air that you're breathing every day.
Wait, what's interesting is that you said enough exposure to it. And I've heard that you have to have a lot of mold and you need to almost be sleeping in it for weeks at a time before
you are.
the average person actually has any sort of detrimental adverse effects to it. And that in part, like many things in life, this is all blown out of proportion. Not that it's not necessary. I'm not saying that, but what's the reality of it?
It's not like you're walking into a nuclear reactor.
Right. Yeah. I tell most people it's much like smoking. It's not going to kill you today when you smoke one cigarette, but if you do it for long enough, eventually it's going to get you.
What's long enough?
In that sense, well,
ask God.
And therein lies part of therein lies part of the problem with this particular industry, and there is no threshold. There's no governing body that says, okay, this much mold is going to kill you. You got to worry about it now.
It's when they come in and they see, if it's mold that's like underneath the kitchen sink in that cabinet, that's where I'll see it a lot of times because someone will have a drip in their sink and it'll drip down, and fix the leak, clean up the mold, and you're good to go on that most of the time. But, people have a preconceived notion of some people, it just completely freaks out.
It does.
And the second they're like, I don't care. It doesn't matter what you say to them. They're gone. And other people are like, I don't care. It doesn't,
Right.
So right now with the slowness of the market, how long does it take to actually get a crew out if someone needed you? Are you a couple days out? Are you the next day? Are you a couple weeks?
Yeah, we fluctuate, obviously, like any business. Sometimes we can be out there the next day, and other times we might be a week out. But typically we don't, we try to stay on top of things and not be more than a week out at most. And like I say, the mold mitigation part we can do in a day. And if you have somebody else that wants the physical aspects, then you can bring somebody in faster if needed. But generally speaking, we can do everything start to finish, and we don't just do the mold; we also do restoration. I have guys that do the restoration.
Do you have any stories? I saw an article one time where the person went down into their basement. Now they happen to be up in Washington, so totally different atmosphere. The mold in this thing in the place was literally 3 feet hanging from the ceilings on the walls. Have you run into anything like that here in Vegas? What's the worst?
Yeah.
What's the worst situation?
God, can you imagine
That's
walking
disgusting.
into that, dude?
No, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some nasty ones. I've seen some actually growing mushrooms. Out of these.
Wow.
In Las Vegas?
Did you guys see a line out the door for that? Or
Mushrooms. Yeah, they selling that stuff.
Don't put that on social media. Okay.
We package it up, and sell it.
Were they growing? Were they growing the good mushrooms?
Brett wants an address. Can you give Brett an address, please?
Brett, they're all good. They're all good, sir.
Right.
Oh man. So
Yeah, no, I've seen some bad ones. I've seen some that, all the walls are just completely covered.
yeah.
Perfect
Yeah, so the
example
longer
of how inconsequential it is. It's over all these walls and nobody cares, and there's nothing happening. It's an overreaction.
I care because my buyers care and pull out a contract and I don't get paid.
Exactly.
So
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that
Exactly,
point. I'm not arguing that point. It's just one of those things.
yeah,
that
no,
bothers
I
me.
know what you mean. The reality of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you think home affordability is going to get
Maybe
better
$550.
this year, where you see the wages continuing to come up? We talk about how it's not helping or supporting people buying houses, But do you think it's going to keep continuing to get better, or do you think it's just going to be a constant problem going into this year? Rick?
I think it's going to get slightly better, and slightly, I mean a little bit. That type of fix takes a long time to happen, and so yeah, is it going to get better? Yes, I think it's going to take a long time, from that standpoint.
Rick, we always say not too much going on. Anything going on with?
Yeah, we got some stuff going.
Stories and stuff that you got to talk about.
Stories and some stuff. So one of the things that I looked at, Dan has been asking me over the few weeks, is there any changes happening? Is there any changes happening? And I keep saying no. Well, this is on me because I hadn't actually checked. So last night I decided to check, and the average rental price went from $1,700 up to $2,100 a month in the past 4 months.
What?
Yeah.
In the past 4 months?
4?
Yeah, in the past 4
Yo!
months. So it went up
Big.
23%.
That's 23 in 4 months.
In
Is it
4
because
months.
of low demand, low supply?
Don't know. All I know is that the rental market
Basically.
is continuing to expand. Just over the last week, it went up almost 8% again.
So why? Because they can.
Because they can't.
They can't.
Of course.
So there you
Because
go.
they can.
No inventory.
It's back to the whole thing. No inventory. Not
exactly.
being able to afford to buy, and that has to do with savings and down payment. And guess what? There is sort of an income qualification to get into a rental, but it's not like buying a house.
Yeah.
So
Right.
anyway, that's where that's at. And I wanted to give you a story, and this is for the investors out there that decide that they want to manage the place themselves. And this is a story of what happened to me when I was brand new in the business. So this is about, at least here in
Like
Nevada.
5 years ago?
No, like 30 years ago, this happened. So it's similar in that I had a little bit of experience, okay? But it was one of the first evictions. I got this property, and I got it because the owner wanted me to evict the tenant. So I went in. I never met this tenant before. I posted everything, really proud of myself. Talked to the neighbors. They hadn't seen this tenant in 3 weeks. Okay.
Oh, dear.
So I hadn't seen the tenant, and the eviction process goes through. I go into the property, and
Don't even tell me they're dead.
and it looks like they're trying to move out. It looks like they're trying to move out, but it also looks like it's just kind of like been left. So, of course, going by the law, so I stay and hold it for 30 days. I tell the owner, we don't need to move it. We'll just lock it up tight and wait for them to come back and clear everything out. Well, it went past the 30 days. In fact, it almost went to another 45 days. Still hadn't heard a word from them. So I go in, being the good guy and landlord now is chomping at the bit in order to get everything out. I get rid of everything. I mean, either it went to Goodwill, went to trash, went wherever. And I made the mistake, and this is the learning experience, of getting rid of everything. About a month later, so now it's been close to 3 months, it's about 4:45 at night. It's during the winter. It's dark outside. I get this phone call, and it's this guy. Where's my stuff?
3 months later.
Where's my stuff? And I'm like, dude, sorry, sir, but, state law, blah, blah, blah. Owner wanted it gone. I got rid of everything. Everything? Where are the pictures of my kids? Where are my certificates of this, that, and the other? I said, I got rid of everything. I'm going to effing kill you. Dead serious. I know where you're at, and I'm coming down.
Oh, no.
And
Come get it. That's what I'd say.
So
to 'em.
anyway, the point
Lock that shit up. Let's go.
The point to
Scary.
this story is that if you're a landlord and you don't know, and even though I was a property manager at that time, I'd never had that type of an experience.
So what were you
before.
supposed to do?
So what we do now is anything that's of a personal nature. Anybody can replace a table, a lamp, whatever. But when it comes to pictures, letters, certificates, anything like that, we store it. How long do I store it? I've stored stuff now for up to 2 years waiting for
my
people to come
goodness.
back.
Huh?
So,
good to hear.
Wow.
and I have had people come back 6 months later to get a photo album or something.
But why
like
would they
that.
think that they would be getting that stuff back if you abandoned something.
Why do people think
I know.
anything that they think?
I mean, come on, let's be real.
You got me on that one, Rick.
So anyway, most owners aren't willing to go through that. They don't even think about it. They don't anticipate it. I get it. And that's one of the reasons that you do want to hire a property manager that's got 30 plus years experience so that they can keep you away from getting situations, and basically they get in between you and harm's way. And it doesn't cost you anything. We've got a storage unit. We put the stuff in. We keep it for a year. If we don't hear from him for a year, then
so what happened with that particular guy?
Yeah,
he never showed up.
Oh, good.
Imagine that.
He never showed up. Maybe he talked to somebody. He calmed down. He understood that it was actually, he'd been in jail, and so that's why
you knew that because
I knew that because I found out.
You couldn't,
yeah. So anyway, that was one of my stories. In fact, it's I'm looking at the clock and it's time to go over to Brett. But before we do, I just wanted to touch base on something here. So Dan,
he's got a bag.
I've got a bag.
Bag of goodies. What do you got here, Rick?
What is this, Rick?
So anyway,
surprise.
So anyway, this is for Brett.
Oh.
Now,
can I open it? Can I open it in front of everyone?
So here's the thing. I started on this project at the beginning of November, and that's how long it's taken to have this come through.
Damn, Rick.
Hopefully you're going to like it. Hopefully it's going to help you in your business. And that's what I was thinking of when I got it. That we had made a comment on this show, and that's what triggered this, and that was way back in November.
Damn, man.
What is happening?
So
Open it. I
So
know.
keep an eye on
You're
here.
better than a woman.
Well,
I'm
let's go
very
ahead.
excited.
Remembering that? I mean, that's
Brett, go ahead and open that gift, man.
All right.
I just want to see what it is.
We need to know.
Hold on.
I mean, come
Put
on.
on my old man glasses.
Oh, you got to do that.
Don't age yourself like that.
Hey, now.
See what? Let's
None
see
of us are
what.
getting younger.
Let's see what. Let's see what Rick's given to Brett over here.
So I just wanted you to know you weren't forgotten. It just took a
Oh
while.
my God, it's duct tape.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna. Okay. Good.
Oh, look
Wallet.
at you.
What
A
is
wallet.
Yeah.
Show us what it is, man.
Dude, thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Let me take a look. Let me see.
Come with money.
Oh, they have a. Oh,
Dude, that's
Let me see
awesome,
it.
Rick.
Let me see it, dude.
Dude.
what is that? What is going
Certified crypto agent.
Hold that up,
on?
buddy.
That's amazing.
Yo, Rick.
Certified.
Let's take a picture.
Hey,
That's amazing.
this is
dude.
what you do now. Listen, you got
Oh,
your.
hold on. Here I am.
Oh, wow.
Here I am.
Oh wow.
Look at you, big man.
Excuse me. Certified crypto
Hey,
agent.
when you go and see somebody, just flash
Yeah.
it.
You got.
Hey, you got the.
You got crypto problems? What's your problem, ma'am? I'm certified crypto agent.
It's got the state seal in the middle of it.
Dude, that's
That
awesome.
is
Yeah,
wonderful.
Is that, do I have the right? I'm sorry, this way.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you gotta practice.
There you go,
That's
man.
so
Look at
awesome,
that, dude.
dude.
And then here I am. Here's
That's
my
you, baby.
identification.
That's
Oh, that is
amazing.
so awesome.
I'm gonna have to search you, ma'am.
Hey, so
certified crypto agent.
now that you have a certification and a badge,
Dude,
what's going
I don't
on?
know what to say, man. Dude, this guy, man, I'm blown
so
away, Rick.
sweet.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's all fun.
Dude.
Yeah.
This is
Dude,
the first time
that-
he's at a loss for words.
I am.
How long you
If-
been
like,
married,
dude.
Rick? No wonder.
Wow, man. That's
So, all right.
Rick.
Brett's
You're
gonna
amazing,
cry.
dude.
So, guys, thank you so much. If everybody out there was watching, if you guys come across this video, please hit the like button. We're trying to grow this channel. We want to get to 1,000, and we really want to keep putting out that content. This is the most real behind-the-scenes information on financing, real estate, money talk. We do have entrepreneurs coming on. That's also the goal this year. We have a lot of good guests that's coming on. And if you guys want anybody's information here, Rick Raines, he's property management. You got Brett Jenny over here, he's real estate. Shannon Miller, we're going to have some information on her in the comment section. And also on Corinne Lujan, she's also a real estate agent. Look in the comment section if you guys want to take a look at that. If you have any, want to reach out to them, find out if you can get some questions answered. And we'll be back here on Tuesday. We have another guest. And that's it, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. And
Thank you so much.
we
Thanks
will
for watching.
see you guys on Tuesday.
Have a great day.
Bye.